When the car hit our motorcycle, I blacked out. When I came to, the first thing I noticed was my femur sticking straight up through my jeans. I looked a little bit further and I could see Joe face down in the street. I had lost my husband and my leg. When I met my husband, Joe, it was an instant connection. We dated for 3 years and got engaged. Our friends were gonna have to travel to wherever we got married anyway, so we might as well make it a fun destination. We got married in Las Vegas, and exactly 17 months later is when our wreck happened. We had bought tickets for 3 concerts that were gonna be up in North Alabama and Tennessee, and we had made the decision to make a motorcycle trip out of it. Joe had been riding motorcycles his whole life. I did not have as much experience, so this particular day, we were actually going up to visit his mother. We decided we would take the motorcycle and it would be a way for me to kind of ease back into riding. We had just passed under the interstate and a guy pulled out from a side street and just ran right into us. When I came to, I was in the middle of the street, and the first thing I noticed was my femur sticking straight up through my jeans. I saw our motorcycle and it was a mangled up mess. I looked a little bit further and I could see Joe. He was face down. There was a guy wiping blood off my face, and I kept asking him, "Can you please go and see if my husband is breathing?" Nobody told me whether he was dead or alive. But the way the conversations were happening around me, I knew that he was dead. As soon as the door closed on the ambulance, it was like a switch flipped, and that's when I started feeling pain. I remember screaming and the medic saying, "I know, sweetheart, I know." And he put a needle in my arm and I was out for a week. When I came to, I was really surprised to still see that I had a leg. I had already had 3 surgeries at that point. My next memory is looking around the room and seeing my mom and saying, "Joe's gone, isn't he?" And she just nodded and we cried. The first day I was fully conscious, I asked my surgeon, "You really think I'm gonna be functional with this leg?" And he said, "I think you have about a 60% chance, but it is going to take a lot of surgeries." The guy who hit us tried to flee the scene. He ran a stop sign and caused our wreck. He broke a few laws, and for some reason, he was not charged with anything. I actually went before the grand jury. I just wanted some sort of justice. My lowest point was the day that the district attorney said he felt like all of the witnesses' stories were too conflicting, so he did not want to bring charges against this guy. That's the day that I really wanted to die. And I actually made my mom and dad take all of my weapons away that day because I didn't trust myself to have them. I woke up the next day still feeling incredibly sad, but with more of a feeling that I was still here for some purpose. And putting somebody else in jail was not going to fix my leg and bring my husband back. Over the next 3 years, I had 11 surgeries trying to save my leg. I never was able to progress past walking with a cane. I was in constant pain and constantly taking antibiotics. None of that was doing my body any good. So I made the decision to amputate above the knee. When I scheduled my amputation surgery, I was excited because I knew I was moving towards a future where I could start to be more functional again. I talk about him every single day. He's such a huge part of who I am. I still have our wedding photos hanging in the hallway. There's a songwriters night that was started by Joe. So I try to support that event when I can, just to help keep his memory alive. I am seen. Are you?